Alright, so it's no secret that the Vancouver Canucks are in desperate need of a second-line center, and I've seen a couple of names floating around the market, but there's been one name above all else that I've seen the Canucks linked to throughout the past couple of weeks, and I'm wondering if they decide to go this route, will it work out, or will it backfire and blow up in their face? I'm talking about 9th overall pick a couple of years back, Marco Rossi. Before we get to that though, quick word from our sponsor of today's video. If you need a snack that actually fills you up and doesn't make you crash, Midday Squares are packed with real ingredients, real protein, and zero BS. They're gluten-free, plant-based, and taste like a dessert. They're my go-to when I'm on the grind. I especially love the almond crunch, but they're all great flavors. Midday Squares, check them out with the link in the description down below. And if you click that link, you will get 15% off your final order at the checkout. With that said though, let's get back to the video. So Marco Rossi, 2029th overall pick. He's still a very young player at age 23. He's originally from Austria, and then for junior he played on the Ottawa 67s where he absolutely dominated the competition. 120 points in 56 games. The season following that he got drafted by the Minnesota Wild and then played on the Iowa Wild of the AHL, where he also played pretty good, put up decent numbers, and then these past 2 seasons he's made the transition to the NHL level, and he's developed well, getting better each season. His first year, 2 years ago, 40 points in 82 games played. And then this past season, he just reached 60 points in 82 games played. So very durable as well, hasn't missed a game in the past 2 seasons. The Minnesota Wild, like the Vancouver Canucks, are a team that got majorly affected by injuries this past season to some of their stars, like Kirill Kaprizov and Joel Eriksson-Ek. Marco Rossi was one of the guys that stepped up and played a 1C role with the absence of those players. He was basically in every scenario, on the power play, overtime shifts. He was making an impact. So after hearing that, you're probably wondering, young guy, a lot of potential, has put up numbers at the NHL level, why would the Minnesota Wild be willing to trade this guy? I think it comes down to 2 things, height and the overall way that he plays. It's important to mention that he is only 5'9", which isn't that tall for NHL center standards. If he was a couple inches taller, I doubt he's on the trade market at all, and if he is, the price to get him is probably sky high. I think the Wild are trying to build a brand of hockey with players that are fast, physical, hard to play against, and I'm not sure that Marco Rossi exactly fits this build. They definitely didn't believe in him in the playoffs where they demoted him to the 4th line, and he wasn't exactly playing that key of a role. So yeah, I think the overall lack of belief that the Wild have in this player long term is probably the deciding factor in why he's actually on the trade market in the first place. They did give him an offer, but it was a little bit of a low ball at $5 million. I think he's looking at closer to $6.57 million. And the Wild aren't looking like they're willing to budge, which kind of proves that they don't fully believe in the player long term. So it's the perfect opportunity to grab a player like this that doesn't really come on the market all too often. But I do have my worries as well if the Vancouver Canucks decide to pursue him. And there are a couple of things that make me wonder if he is the right fit for this team. First of all, he is still controlled by the Wild. He's a restricted free agent. So either you offer sheet him and give up some picks, or you trade for his rights and give up other assets. And I do worry about overpaying for a guy like Marco Rossi. Is he the number 2 center of this team? I'm not too sure because, as I mentioned, he is 5'9". And if they're going to give up some of their limited key assets, they better be sure that this guy's going to be a slam dunk, because I sure as hell don't want to be giving up a top prospect and a 1st round pick for a guy that they're just kind of taking a swing on. Secondly, I do kind of worry about the stability of our center core. You want your center core to be strong, the spine of the team. And if it consists of Pettersson, who is a big question mark, Marco Rossi, a smaller player in stature, and Phil Hedl, whose health is in jeopardy as well, is that what you want at the start of next season? On paper, I don't know, it just doesn't look that solid to me. I'm not sure if I'm bugging, let me know in the comment section down below. But yeah, to me, you look at some of the top teams in the NHL, top center cores, solid center pairings. This to me just looks a little bit thin on paper. Maybe I'm wrong, but we'll see. And not to take any credit away from Marco Rossi. He's a young player, very talented, and if you do acquire him, you're going to get a player that has a lot of skill and can score, but is he the right fit for this team? I don't know. Especially with some of the smaller guys that we already have on our forward core like Höglander and Garland. Do you want another guy like Rossi in there just mixing it up? It's hard to look at that and say, come playoff time, having a team of 5'9" and under players are going to steamroll the competition. But yeah, that's basically what I wanted to say for this video. I have a ton of center prospects that I have for the Vancouver Canucks who they could potentially acquire. There are some good candidates out there, and that second line center role is so crucial, they can't screw it up. but we'll see what they do. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you're new. Peace out, and take care.